Hi there, my name is Destiny and this is my Flosstube channel, Stitching with Bird. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. I appreciate you all being here. If you see anything you like, I would appreciate if you would subscribe. And if you're working on something and you want to share, I would appreciate if you would leave it down in the comments and do all the things. This is my 7th Flosstube and today is June 1st of 2026. So this will be my May recap, and I do actually have some that I showed in my last Flosstube for April. The first week of May I included in my last Flosstube. So there is one project that I will show you that has no progress on it, but I figured I'd just show it anyways because it's in my notes. So I have no FFOs and I have no finishes, so I will start off with new starts. The first new start that I had is the Museum After Midnight by Lola Cross Stitch, and this is the new style that she is releasing. I'm doing this on 18 count dome as well. I cannot say the name of that fabric for the life of me, so I butchered that, but I will put it on the screen. And that's by Picture This Plus. I did do 520 stitches on this, and I will explain what's going on with this. So this is what I picked. This is the fabric I picked because I thought it looks cool, and I started stitching on it, and obviously there is a bunch of white stitches on there and you cannot even see them. So I apologize. You can see like the light reflection from my blinds, so that'll be kind of annoying, but the sun is moving, so we'll just deal with it for now. Anyways, so there is like 300 white stitches in this, in the whale right there, and you can't see them. So I have actually reordered a different fabric, which was one of the called fors, which I believe she said was on the, what is it called? The word just escaped me. I had it. I can't think of the word. Wow. The model. There we go. The model was stitched on it, and it's called Royal Haven by Barefoot Needlework. Wow. That was bad. Anyways, so I actually will be explaining later on what I'm going to do with that. But for now, I did do 520 stitches. I did decide I wasn't going to originally pick them out, but I have decided that I do want to pick them out, so eventually I will be doing that. And then hopefully my fabric will be here soon. The next one I worked on was Hot Air Balloon, and the artwork is by Greg Giordano, and this is charted by HAED, and I'm doing this on 25 count easy grid Lugana. And I did 548 stitches on this, and they are super tiny because obviously 25 count, but I am doing 1/1 full cross on this, and I will actually open this up so you can see. It's like a blanket, but I'm excited. I started here, so this is the whole thing. It's huge. I don't even think I could fit that all in there, but anyways, I tried. So yeah, that's what I got to do. Oh, I can't fold it. This is why I don't do these things. There we go. Okay, kind of. Yeah, anyways, that was that. 348 on this. I'm hoping to work on this one more. That was kind of not really that big of a start, but it was something. So that was all for new starts. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is my whips. And the first two are, like I said, the ones that I showed in my previous Flosstube for the first week of May. This one I did work on, so there will be progress on this one, but the next one there will not be, but I'm still going to show it. The first one is the HAED style by L&L Designs, and I am doing Glistening wings, and this is being stitched on 25 count easy grid Lugana as well, and I added 1,556 stitches. So I did add a lot into this. This is the bottom of the first page. So I just have to finish filling this in, and I will have my very first page finish. Which, if you are doing the style this year, you already know that they gave you the chart for the first page finish. So even if I didn't finish it, I would still have the chart. So, but I'm actually really excited to have a page finish. My goal was to originally try to finish the entire chart by the end of this year, but obviously I'm super behind. So I have kind of changed my goals. I want to try to aim to see if I can at least get 6 pages finished so I can get the rest of the charts, which is really what I wanted. I don't really care too much about the rest of the prizes. I really just wanted some of the other patterns. So I've been doing the math on that. I'm extremely behind, but if I do 123 stitches on that a day, and then I think it's 861 stitches a week. So if like I miss, my goal is to try to do the 123 stitches a day, and if I don't do that, then try to make up on the weekend, because I am doing a lot of schoolwork during the week. But hopefully I've been trying to aim to do all my schoolwork that's due over the weekend during the week, so I don't have homework over the weekend. Sometimes that doesn't work out, but you know, it's school, so stuff happens. Anyways, that was the first whip that I worked on. The next one that I worked on was the Deadly Aquarium style by Lola cross stitch, and I'm doing this on 14 count white Aida that I dyed myself. And like I said, I did not work on this one, but I'm going to show it anyways because I like it. So let me get it the right way first. It's going to blow in the wind because I have my fan on, and I have redone this video like 3 times. Yeah, I didn't add anything into it. It still looks the same from my last Flosstube, but it's okay. The next one that I worked on is Epic Pokemon by Lord Libidan on 14 count white Aida, and I added in 150 stitches on this one. It is ginormous. I will show you what I worked on the best that I can. This pattern will be 5 feet by 6 feet when it is finished. It is 798,000 stitches. I added 150 stitches into this area up here, which is strictly just 310 that I added in. I think I am 8,000 stitches into this, and I did grid all of this. You can kind of see where the lines were. It came off, so I regridded this area and just the area that I'm working on, and then I will go back and regrid everything else later. This thing is ginormous, and it's bigger than I am. I'm 5'10", so I mean I'm pretty tall, but this is taller. So that's that. The next one that I worked on was the 2024 blackwork style by the Steady Thread, and I'm doing this on 16 count ivory, and I don't really recall where I got this Aida from, so I don't know like what company or who made it, but I believe that I had this just in my stash somewhere and I just grabbed it. For the blackwork styles, I do not count stitches, but I did make pretty good progress on it. This first row was not complete, and then this second row wasn't complete either, which I still have like right in this area to do, which I just have to continue the little zigzags across there, and it'll kind of, sorry, my eye itches, and then it'll complete that second row. I think I was only about right here last time I worked on this. I will have to look into my photos and see if I can find a before picture. I do take pictures after I'm done working on them, because I like to send my best friend photos of my progress that I make. She loses count of which projects I'm working on, so I send her photos and be like, oh yeah, it was this one, remember? I have too many whips. Besides the point. I may have a photo that I had taken of like when I previously worked on it, so I will see if I can find that, and I will try to pop it in so you can kind of see where I was last time. Like I said, I don't count stitches on that, so I don't really have like a stitch count for you, but I did quite a bit on it. I worked on that for almost a full day with breaks, obviously. The next one, so the last three that I worked on, I decided that I wanted to spin a wheel for. I sometimes have a hard time picking out what I want to work on because obviously I have so many whips. It's just hard for me to be like, oh, I want to work on this. So I do have a wheel. I spun my wheel, and this is the first one it landed on, and this is Alice's Winter Wonderland by the Little House Needleworks. And I'm doing this on 32 count lavender. This is another one that I might have a progress picture of before, but I'm not sure, so I will look and see if I can find that. But I did 109 stitches on this, and I only had like this square and this square done of the lighter brown, and then I did fill in the rest of those and fill in like the darker brown. This is where the end of the roof is, so the next part is the building. And if you couldn't tell by like the name of it, it's based off of Alice in Wonderland. So this pattern I have is actually a paper pattern, and I may be able to pop in a picture for progress, and I should be able to find a photo. I'll see if I can find photos and pop them in of what they will look like. I've been slacking on that. I'm not the greatest floss tuber, I'll just say that. I forget to take before photos, and I forget to insert in pictures of what my patterns will look like, which I'm trying to get better at, but you know, I'm only human. So the next one was another wheel spin. Wow, words are hard. This is the Extraordinary Bird Saw by Lola Crow cross stitch, and I'm doing this on 16 count Havisham by Picture This Plus. And apparently I worked on all of my Lola Crow styles. This one I did do a lot of the 310 on. I only added 36 stitches into this. I don't know if I said that. I'm having a hard time getting the motivation to work on this because it is only 310 that I've stitched. I'm trying my best to like get all of the 310 in so I could start adding in more details. So what I worked on was this 3 stitches here, or 4, and then across here. I do have a thread hanging. I actually have a thread hanging on the back from the top part right here. My goal was to try to meet in the middle where they end, and I actually just lost steam on this one, so I put it away after the day that I worked on it. I was also doing homework that day, so I didn't have a lot of time to stitch anyways, so that was kind of disappointing, but it's there. The last thing that I worked on is called Funny Cross Stitch Pattern by AlitonEmbroidery on Etsy, and I'm stitching this on the same Ada that I'm doing the Epic Pokemon because I had extra. And that's 14 count white Ada, and I did 62 stitches. And I'm almost done with all of the words. Excuse me. I've redone this video like 3 times, like I said earlier. I believe I said that earlier. My voice is kind of getting raw and my throat kind of hurts, but I'm gonna do this. I realized that I started in the wrong spot, so all of this is all wrong, and it's off by like 2 stitches. So I had like this dark green here, I had all the way up here, and it was in the wrong spot. So I picked all of that out, and I think what I figured out I'm going to do is, since it was only off by 2 stitches, I'm going to fudge this lighter green and add 2 more stitches into that, fix the darker green, which entails taking out these 2 flowers, and try to make sure that everything lines up so I can get it all just to connect. I know that everything's off. I know that it's probably not going to line up correctly, but I'm going to have to fudge it to where it'll meet and look okay. So yeah, when I was working on this, it got to like 1 o'clock in the morning and my eyes were starting to get tired, so I didn't finish picking out the flowers. I will get to that eventually. I did pull out all of that darker green, and so eventually I'll get back to that and get that all picked out and figured out. I'm almost done with that. So, I mean, I knew there was a mistake in there. I couldn't figure out where the mistake was, so, excuse me, my plan was to try to just do it as it is, and then it just started to bug me, so I didn't work on it. And then when I landed on it on the wheel, I said, okay, I guess it's time to work on it. So that was it for my whips. The next thing, sorry, I keep saying a lot. I apologize. I almost did it again. I have a hard time saying words, thinking of what I'm saying. It's just, I feel like it's a natural thing that Flosstubers or newer vloggers, whatever you want to call them, I feel like a lot of people say and then as they get better they stop saying but I'm not there yet. I still say a lot. Anyways, on to my next part is haul. I did get 2 more HAED charts because there was a sale for Memorial Day. The first one that I got is called Fluffy Pranksters, and the artwork is by Nadia Strelkina. I believe I said her name right, but I'm not 100% sure, so I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. The second one that I got is called Spirit of Flight, and the artwork is by Josephine Wall. And I actually got the Spirit of Flight because I have the puzzle version, and the puzzle has like foil sparkly bits in it, and it was really pretty, so I bought it. And then I saw that they had that on HAED, so I was like, we're gonna get that because the puzzle was fun. So eventually I'll stitch it, and then I can have matching puzzle and stitch. So that was the whole point of that. The Fluffy Pranksters I got because cats, obviously. I will insert in photos of the charts so you can see what they look like. And that was all I bought besides the Royal Haven by Barefoot Needle Art, which is the fabric that I'm getting. I don't have that with me because I just ordered it last night, so I will show you that next time. And hopefully I'll have some stitches on it. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is plans, and I will show you my plans for the current fabric that I have for the museum sale. I'll pull it out again so you can kind of see like the colors on it and get a... This is the other side of it without any stitching, and it's pink, yellow, and blue, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's waving in the wind as well. That's kind of true to color. This fabric kind of reminds me of like a summery feel to it. I don't know, the colors kind of remind me of ice cream, which is like my inner fat girl coming out. Reminds me of ice cream, so I thought summer, and I bought the Just Cross Stitch magazine for summer, and I actually bought it because I found a pattern in here that I really liked, and I bought this whole magazine just for this pattern. This is called Relax Mode, and I know how to pronounce the first name of the designer. I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name, so I'll insert her name, but her name is Svetlana. And this is the pattern that I want to stitch. I think she is adorable, and there's not a lot of like light colors on it, so I think it'll work out nicely. So I plan on stitching this on the museum style fabric that I currently have. I thought she was cute. I saw this. So I look at Libby before I buy the Just Cross Stitch magazines because I want to see if there's anything that I like. So if I do, then I buy them. If not, then I don't need it. Most of the time I do end up buying them because I find at least one pattern that I like. But this was the one pattern that I liked, and I said, okay, I have to have it. So I bought that at Barnes & Noble's. I used to buy my magazines at Joann's, but obviously that's not possible anymore. So Libby it is for now, and then Barnes & Noble's. The next thing that I put on my plans was to restart the museum, so that all depends if I have my fabric or not, so we'll see if that happens. Hopefully it'll get here in time so I can start it and then show you the progress on it. And then the last thing that I put on my plans was to knock down some of my WIPCO goals. I do have only 2 WIPCO goals complete out of all of the ones that have been called. It's kind of hard when you're doing like the HAED cell, and also like I have over 50 WIPs, so it's kind of hard to like keep up on everything, plus have school. So I don't know how many of my WIPCO goals I'm going to get complete, but I like to at least put it on there. We'll get to it eventually, but who knows when. I'm surprised they even finished 2, so I mean, yeah, we'll get to it eventually. The next part I wanted to talk about was life updates. I've already stated that in my last Flosstubes that I'm a student, so I actually just walked the stage on May 1st. I'm still doing summer classes to finish out my associate's degree, and I'm doing a lot of classes. I'm in 6 classes. Actually, I'm in 5 classes. My last class starts on June 8th, which is this next coming Monday. And I will have 6 classes until June 27th. My first class ends. And then after that, I have 3 other classes that will be ending on July 18th. So then I'll be left with 2 classes. And the semester officially ends on August 15th, which is my grandma's birthday. So on August 15th, I will be done with college. And I don't know, maybe eventually I'll go back and try to get either my I think it's bachelor's. Yeah, bachelor's. And maybe, I don't know. I didn't originally plan to go back to college after I was finished with my associates, but we'll see what the future holds. I may decide to do like a completely online school. My community college that I'm going to is actually not an accredited program, so if I were to go try to get licensed in another state, someone may decide that my schooling wasn't efficient enough because it's not an accredited program, so I may have to redo it over. I don't know. But yeah, so I've been doing lots of homework, which is kind of why I wasn't sure if I was going to have time to actually stitch, but I did more stitches than I did in April this month, or in May. So I didn't know. Like I said, I try to finish out like my homework that's due over the weekend during the week, so it kind of gives me time. The next thing that I was going to talk about is I will be going out of town for 2 days at the end of this week. So on Friday, Saturday, I will be going to the casino with my husband for a little getaway. I asked my husband's grandparents, because his grandpa gets free rooms at the casino we go stay at, if we could use some of his free room time, because I needed a change of scenery. We haven't been there since March, and I've been doing schooling this whole time. And I mean, although my classes are online, it'd be nice to be able to do my homework in a change of scenery. It's in the mountains, so I could look out the window and look at trees, which, I mean, I could look out the window and see trees here, but I also see lots of houses, so. Yeah, I plan on bringing quite a bit of stitching with me there, so hopefully I'll get a lot of progress done there, but the lighting kind of sucks there, so I may have to bring like my own lamp or just tough it out and see They actually upgraded the rooms, so they have one lamp that kind of goes over and has an overhead thing, but it's not very bright, so I still struggle a little bit. So we'll see, maybe I'll bring that thing with me and work on something. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, on June 8th, I actually, when my class starts, I'll be in, we're going to Great America, which is an amusement park. I usually don't really go do a lot of stuff like that. Like, the most we usually do is go to the casino for free. Obviously, I'm a student. I don't have a job yet. I did have a job interview. I don't think I got the job, but I did have an interview. I don't have a job yet, so I don't have a bunch of money to go do a lot of stuff anyways. So like this, I'm excited. We haven't been to an amusement park. Last year we were supposed to go to Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, which California people will know what that is. That's about like two to 2.5 hours from us. We don't usually do that. We do that like once a year. Last year I wasn't able to go because I had stuff for school that I had to do the next day. So my family went and I got to stay home, but the year before that we went and I don't even think we rode rides. We just went to the beach. So I haven't really been to an amusement park like this in almost 3 years. So I'm pretty excited. We are supposed to go to Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk in July as well, which I have a final due that day. So I will have to do my final before we go. That way, when we're there, I'm not stressed out about it. The class that I have the final for is just art. So it's not like you have to sit down and write this essay. Like I have a week to do. I mean, actually, the teacher of the class posted all of the class, so I can work ahead if I want to and do all of that beforehand. So I can finish it before we even go, and that way I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, that was pretty much all I wanted to talk about. The last part that I wanted to talk about was just shout outs. I like shouting out some of the Flosstubers that I like watching. So I'll just do that really quickly before we head out. The first Flosstuber that I want to shout out was the Blooming Stitcher, and her name's Leah. She's a newer Flosstuber. She only has like 2 videos, but I really like watching her videos. She seems really sweet, and she has quite a few whips that I was kind of interested in. She also does do, I believe, quilting. So like in the background, she'll have like some of her quilting stuff, which I thought was really cool and cute. So that was Leah. The next person that I wanted to shout out, I have mentioned before on my Flosstube. She was doing the Crochet A Go-Go monthly, what are they called? Like the little monthly things. Words are hard today. I'm sorry. Anyways, like the window series, the monthly window series, by Crochet A Go-Go. This is lemonade stitching. Her name is Rachel, and I've been enjoying her floss tubes recently. I've caught up on all of her recent videos and everything. She's been doing more of like floss tube extras and like little vlog things of extra stuff, and I thought those were kind of cool. So I just wanted to shout her out again because I really enjoy her floss tube. The next Flosstubers I wanted to shout out was Not Your Average Stitchers, and this is Amy and Jordan. I think they're both very fun. Again, kind of like similar taste. Jordan likes to do the HAED. I feel like she does more HAED than Amy does, but Amy does have some. Both of them, I believe they're aunt and niece. So they're fun. They're fun. Okay, they're fun. I like watching their floss tubes. They're also kind of newer, so they have 4 or 5 videos out as well. So they're fun to check out. You should check them out. The last one that I wanted to shout out is Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. This is Julie, and I still am not caught up in all of her floss tubes because her floss tubes are long, and sometimes I have a hard time sitting through all of them. Sometimes if I just sit for too long, even with stitching, I just lose interest, or not that it's like anything to do with the floss tubers or this anything with that. It's just my attention span. I do have ADHD, so hence so many projects and not enough time and all of the things. I do usually come back and do it in increments. She is one that is taking me a little bit longer to catch up on all of her videos because she has so many videos, but also they're very long, which some people like that. I have a harder time with that, so that's a me problem. But I do love the stuff that she stitches. She has a lot of similar tastes that I do. She's also a bigger floss tube stitcher, like she's well known is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so if you want to check any of those out, I will have them in the description. I've been trying to go through and kind of put all like my pattern names on some of my older floss tubes. Eventually I'll try to get all of like the fabric names and all that stuff. I'm obviously still newer. I'm still figuring out everything. I'm, you know, human again. So eventually I will kind of fine tune everything, and it hopefully will get better as I go along. But I think that's everything for today. So if you made it this far, I appreciate you making it. I did ramble a lot. I'm very awkward. I'm sorry for that, but I appreciate you. I think that's all. So I'll see you next time. Bye.